Good evening and welcome to Aleena Story Nights. Before I begin tonight's tale, I would like to take a moment and thank you all for the support and encouragement that you have shown me. I wouldn't have done more episodes if it wasn't for it, so thank you. Tonight's story is of an unsung hero. There are no words to describe the depth of this man's unselfish, kind heart, but I shall try my best. The shadow of his father was never in his life. He never knew his father. He grew up being mocked and jeered at for things that were not his fault. And his mother, though she loved him, she was ashamed of him, ashamed that he was her illegitimate son, and ashamed that he was born with a deformation. At school, the other children either jeered at him or avoided him. At home, the look in his mother's eyes always made him feel how much she regretted that he was born. And soon, while he was still in his tender years, his mother passed away, leaving him with little money and no family. In a cruel world, he found himself completely alone. And with no one to guide him, he dropped out of school. The years went by and he grew up, but with no education, he couldn't find a job. And with no source of income, the money he had was spent. To survive, he sold his only inheritance, his mother's home. And yet, that money was spent too, and he was on the street. While he was struggling, a kind family came to know of his situation. They helped him work as a door-to-door salesman. But still, the money he made was too little to afford a roof over his head. He still had no place to stay. He pleaded with this family to allow him to sleep in their backyard so that at least he would have a place to sleep in. They were a kind family. If they could help him more, they would have. But this was all they could do for him, and they allowed him to sleep in their backyard. Every day he would be out in the sun, knocking from door to door, hoping to sell his products. At night he would come back to a mattress in their backyard. With whatever money he made, he would hide some to hopefully someday collect enough to be able to buy a small home for himself. With the rest of the money, he would buy his dinner. The years went by, and this was his life, completely lonely. He never even thought of ever falling in love, always afraid that if he ever spoke to a woman, she might laugh at him, the way the children did at his school, the way many people did. I don't want to disclose what kind of deformation, out of respect for this man's privacy. One night, as he was returning from a long, harsh day, he found a crowd of people gathered over something. They were whispering, and the expressions on their faces were of horror. Curious, he made his way through the crowd and came upon the sight that had shocked everyone. Like the others, he was shocked and horrified. We'll have to stop the story here. We shall continue next week the tale of this unsung hero. Good night, and many thanks for your time from this veiled storyteller.